Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Javier Perez. You may also know me as JP2, and on today's episode I'm going to talk about life hacks for musicians. So let's start with the basic. What is a life hack? A life hack is a strategy or a technique or just something that you implement to be able to perform your daily routine in a more efficient way. How does it work in terms of musicians? There could be things that you are doing that are affecting your productivity as a musician, your creativity as a musician, that you may not even be aware of it. We are all guilty of that at some point in time. So I just want to go ahead and give you some points that I have adopted myself recently and that have given me some really good results. So the first one would be find a workspace and set up a schedule. Maybe you're the kind of musician that you can just sit down in a room, in the corner of a room in your house, pick up a guitar and start playing, and you're good with that. Without knowing it, that is actually your space. That is actually the space that you found. But if you haven't found that, if you keep struggling and nothing feels right as far as like where you're supposed to feel creative, where you're supposed to feel in the mood to be able to like express yourself musically, that's one thing that you have to look for. In my case, I already told you guys my story about how I've been wanting to build this room forever, and how it is basically the reason why I didn't really do any videos or any music for almost 2 years. Now that I have it, I've seen the switch turn on. It was definitely what I needed. I needed some place that basically checked all my boxes, that every time I walked in made me feel like I wanted to sit down and create something, whether it's something on guitar, whether it's something on the computer, like with keyboards, or just the drum part that is in my head. You need something like that. And set up a schedule, it's more of a, you have your space, you got to make sure that you use your space. There's no point in having a fast car if it sits in the garage, you know? So what you want to do is you want to say, okay, so this is the space where I'm going to be creative, and let me start by doing that, maybe twice a week. And this is probably not the right word, but you're going to force yourself twice a week to go into that space, bedroom, living room, wherever you have it in your house. And let's say that you're going to be there for an hour. What are you doing in that hour? That's another thing that you have to figure out where it comes to, you're either going to practice, you're either going to write, you're either going to just listen to music and try to get inspired for a different session, etc. But you have to make the commitment to do it. At the beginning, like I said, you're forcing yourself to do it, but in time, it's going to become something that is just natural. Like, that your body's just gonna basically want you a couple days a week to be able to go to this spot and sit down and do this. Your mind is gonna be craving it. It's gonna be craving the creative juices that come flowing from every time you sit down and do it. At that point, you get to alter it to whichever way it works for you. I mean, currently, I'm in this room at least 5 times a week, different times of the day, different amounts of times of the day, and that's not even counting the sessions where I'm playing video games with the guys online. This room works because I am able to leave the world behind for the amount of time that I'm in here and come out here knowing that I wrote something, that I practiced something I needed to practice, that I'm able to like come in here and achieve a goal. So that would be my first life hack. So next life hack is warm up. Sounds silly, but it's actually way more important than people think. I was actually able to get on stage for the first time in probably 10 years to do a show. I played bass for Nordic Hamster, and it was a very incredible experience because I had never ever played bass in public, And B, I hadn't been on stage playing a show for over 10 years. One of the things that I did building up to the show is every day, not only did I practice and did I warm up nicely before practice, but I did some stretching, I did some movements, I try to mimic some stuff. Like when I would practice here, I practice standing up. I will go through the set standing up, trying to make sure that I adapt myself to the condition that I'm going to be facing on stage. Just like any performer, when it comes to any athlete, when it comes to sports, they do the same thing. They recreate game situations during practice to be able to perform better during the game. Us as musicians, we need to do the same things. You want to be able to just not nail every note, but you want to be able to put on the show that you know that you can put on and that your fans expect. So number 3 is create something new every day. The easiest way to be creative is to stay creative. Every day that you write a guitar lick, a guitar solo, a riff, a full song, a lyric, a drum part, a keyboard part, whatever it is that you're writing, every day that you're doing that, you are conditioning your brain to be able to put out things a little bit easier. This isn't just for you, like if you're in a band situation and you're able to be creative all the time, it benefits your bandmates that you're always going to be able to come in with something. Somebody's stuck in a part, I don't know what to do after this riff, well maybe try this, well maybe try that. And just that mindset, keeping your brain always on go when it comes to creativity, is such an incredible tool and technique to have, that a lot of people just go like, at some point I'll sit down and I'll create something and I'll write something. The longer time that passes between those moments, the harder it is to put them together. So what you want to do is always stay creative, and everything will just be so much easier when it comes to your performing, your writing, everything. Okay, so this one is actually for people who either they have their own little recording setup at home or a home studio, or they are going actively to a studio to record. And that is, know your part, know what you're going to sing or play before you get there and you press the rec button. You are basically doing a disservice to the fellow musicians in your group and to the studio engineer if you're going there trying to wing it. If you're not ready for the session, just don't do it. Like, you may hit lightning in a bottle and have a really good take that will be good, but most likely what you're gonna end up getting out of the session is just frustration, and you're going to be wasting people's time, including yours. Like I said, you're doing a disservice to everybody involved in the process if you don't know your part. This is where all the other things that I mentioned come into play, of like staying creative, having your space, having your room. Writing something every day is going to get you to the point where this doesn't become an issue, that you're going to sit down and record something and it's going to work. Okay, and last, and this is coming from the king of overcommitment himself, learn how to say no. As much as you may want to be a part of everything that comes your way, it is physically and mentally impossible to do so. Learn to prioritize your current projects or the projects that you are already a part of before everything that is coming your way. The better you are in this business, the more people will try to meet you and do something with you, and that is awesome. But you need to be able to say no in order to be able to say yes. You need to be able to not overcommit yourself in order to fulfill commitments. You need to be able to just put some stops to be able to enjoy yourself. If you're always busy and you're always recording and you don't have time for yourself or for your friends or your loved ones, all of that, it burns you. Nobody really can sustain that type of grind. It is impossible. We are all humans. It is very important to be able to have time for ourselves. So don't feel bad for having to tell somebody, hey, thank you for thinking about me for this project. Unfortunately, I'm not able to do this at the moment, but good luck, and please keep me in mind for any future projects. You're basically telling somebody that you appreciate them reaching out to you, but that you are not able to deliver exactly what they want at this moment. Anybody that gets offended or doesn't want to work with you after that response, you didn't want to work with them to begin with, to be honest. So there you have it. That's a few little life hacks that every musician should probably consider. There are things that I'm implementing currently in my music career, and they're helping me out a lot, especially the last one when it comes to overcommitment. Maybe these are things that you're already doing. Maybe these are things that you are watching this video and saying, I should probably practice that. So whatever the reason it is, I hope this works for you. If you like this video and you want to see me do more videos like this, please go ahead and hit the like and the subscribe button. And then until next time.